If you are feeling tight and you need a full body routine, look no further because here is a quick and easy stretching routine that you can do in a very short amount of time. The one thing I do want you to promise to me is if you don't have the time right now, save it for later, come back to it and perform the whole routine at once and let me know how you feel after in the comments. But other than that, let's get started.
Pigeon pose. I like to start off in a push-up position and then bring one leg up and hang out in this position. You can be on your hands here, you can be on your forearms depending on your flexibility level. And the more in line your shin is with your upper body, if it's more like this, you'll get a bigger stretch. If that's a little bit too intense, you can bring it in a little bit. I like to kind of go in between and then just hang out here. If this hurts your knee or it's a little bit tough, you can also jump onto a table and do this. Bring one leg up here, and that feels a little bit easier and takes some of the stress off the knee. So find what works best for you. But we're gonna hang out here for 1 minute on each side. So let me grab the timer here. Let's see, mode, 1 minute, and let's get it started. And start. Like always, make sure you're concentrating on your breathing. Basically, just don't hold your breath. So if you're going a little bit too far into the stretch and you're holding your breath, you've gone too far. You have gone too far, so find just a nice light stretch. Hopefully it loosens up a little bit during the 1 minute, and then you can go a little bit deeper as the 1 minute goes along as we're running through this. I'm kind of mumbling right now, just kind of, I don't know what I'm saying. So hang out here, 25 seconds ago. Let's go down to the forearms a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit looser. Pigeon pose, great for the piriformis, the very popular piriformis, your hip external rotators. 3, 2, 1. And then we will switch sides. And let's go. It's a great way to open up the hip. And you might notice I'll kind of like rock around and see what feels the best. So sometimes just being here, I don't feel as much of a stretch, even though it looks good. You know, it looks like how the pigeon pose is demoed. Sometimes I like to kind of just like anchor my foot down. I'll maybe move to the side a little bit, or I'll rotate this way and just find what works best for my body, because everyone's body is a little bit different. And sometimes I feel the stretch a little bit like this, a little bit more. Sometimes I feel it like this, and again, there's no real right way to do it. Find what works best for you. 2, 1, and that is it. So pigeon pose, 1 minute each side. Now we're gonna go into the bretzel, and we're gonna do this in reps and not holding it like I usually do. So we'll be on our side, one leg is up, so knee is about hip level, and then you grab your ankle or your foot with the other hand, and then what we're gonna do is drop our shoulder to the ground, just like that, and then we'll rock back and forth like this. If that's too intense for you, alternative here, just keep this leg straight, hand up here, and just open up. And that should take some of the difficulty away. So again, find what works best for you. Bretzel, 10 reps, nice and controlled, about about a second to 2 seconds for each rep. Again, make sure you're breathing, don't hold your breath. If it's too intense, this one can be a little bit intense on the hips, the quads, the hip flexors, then back off. But let's go. Okay, 10 reps. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Good. 6, 7. Good. 8, 9, and 10. Switch it up. Top leg over, grab the bottom leg, and let's do 10 reps on this side. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Really good for our hip flexors, our T-spine. Great stretch, good big bang for your buck stretch. So that was the Bretzel with 10 reps on each side. And now we're going to go into a modified hurdler, which is just one leg out, 1 foot in, creating kind of this figure 4. And now we're going to do a little bit of a side bend reach. So we're going to turn our upper body and try to line it up with this leg. So it's kind of like one straight line from shoulder to foot, hand outside of the leg. And then from here, you're just going to reach over and side bend. What's going on here? Good hamstring stretch. Good stretch on the side of the body. We got our lats kind of down into our obliques, our abs. Then we also get into that QL, that low back muscle. And then we reach out this way. We're going to just shoot for 30 seconds here. And that's it. So let's get some time on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 30 seconds. Getting a nice good combo move here. I really like to take really big breaths through the belly. Make the belly big. Exhale. Get a little bit deeper into that stretch, especially this low back. It feels the best for me for that QL. And that's 30 seconds there. Switch legs. When I do this later today, I might hold that one a little bit longer. That one felt really good. And 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Other side. Good. Keep breathing big, deep belly breaths. Sink a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Stop. 30 seconds each side. Modified hurdler stretch. Good for the hamstrings, good for the whole side of the body. Now let's finish it up with a dynamic pec stretch up against the wall. I like to keep the inside knee down. We're going to be in a half kneeling position. Other leg out in front. Elbow about shoulder level or slightly higher. You can do this in a doorway. It would probably be way easier. And then from here, try to square your body forward, so hips forward. And then all we're going to do is lunge forward, almost like you're doing a hip flexor stretch. But as you go forward, you're going to get a good stretch on the pec. Make sure the shoulder stays down and back, so pull down this way as you're going forward. So it'll look like this from the side, like this. Don't let that shoulder roll forward as you're going forward, okay? So we're gonna do 10 reps here, again, nice and controlled breathing. So position, elbow about shoulder level or slightly higher. The whole body's pointing forward, and then pull that shoulder down and back. So kind of stick the chest out, and then shift forward. we'll get it started. 10 reps. Get 1. Get 2. 3. Get 4. 5. Good. 6. 7. Good. 8. 9. Last one. And 10. Good. Let's switch it. Let's turn around. And then same thing on this side. And we will get it started. Good. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. 6. 7. Good. 8. Good. 9. Last one. And 10. Dynamic pec stretch, 10 reps each side. And that is it for the stretches and mobility exercise. But as always, we're gonna finish it up with a stability exercise or a strengthener. Hit up a dead bug. It's probably one of my all-time favorites here. We're gonna get onto our back, knee over the hips, and then head on the ground, hands over the chest. In this position, I don't want your knees right over your hips. I want them actually past your hips slightly. So probably to there, and then keep that low back pressed into the ground. This is a huge key to this exercise because the majority of the people I know, we don't press our low back into the ground. So when we're doing our dead bug, people fly through it and they're like, this is so easy. But 2 mistakes or a couple mistakes is low back doesn't stay flat, and also knees are too far up. They're over the hips or past the hips, and then we do a lot of hip flexor work instead of working our core. So again, here, low back flat, and as you're lowering down, you want to keep that low back as flat as possible. And I'm shaking a little bit, and that's okay. That means it's working. Come back up, and then low back flat. Keep pushing that low back into the ground. Breathe out. Oh, man, that's a killer if you keep the low back flat. Sometimes I like to put maybe like a rolled up towel or like a sock just to give you a little bit of a cue to always push down. But think about it, when you're going through the stretch, think about, are you keeping the same pressure into the low back into the ground the whole time? And I can guarantee if you do, you'll work a lot harder and you'll feel that burn. All right, I think I talked too much on that one. Let's go. 10 reps each side, dead bug. Okay. Good. 1. 2. Low back, flat, 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 flat. 2. Good. 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. Halfway there. Good. 6. 6. Low back flat. Good. 7. 7. There's going to be a tendency when you get tired for that low back to come up. Make sure you fight it. 8. Good. 8. 9. 9. Last one. 10. 10. Oh. Whew, abs are burning. So dead bug, 10 reps each side.